In the YouTube algorithm, the people are represented by three separate yet equally important groups: the one that creates, the one that views, and the one that just can't help but react. Under Title 17, I am a member of an elite squad, also known as the Special Viewers Unit. These are the archives.
Or if people make like 10 times the views, you know, replaying my video and just commenting on it or whatever, it's like, you know, I'm not good enough to watch, but I'm good enough to make fun of, basically. I love my drinks ice cold. It's like my heart. Call me fat bitch all you want. It's sickening. It's sickening. No matter what you do, people think you're eating bad. You eat a fucking piece of fruit and people think that you're like, you know, like, no, I can't handle that. People need to worry about themselves. This is a mukbang channel.
I speak Korean, so I know for sure that's not how you pronounce the word. A lot of people were asking in their own videos, is it mukbang or is it mukbang? I'm not sure. And I was like, girl, it's neither of them, it's mukbang.
So if you can't handle watching someone big eat something, go watch a skinny bitch eat a salad, okay?
So I wanted to talk to you guys. This is like rather embarrassing. I don't know where Becky went. She just like booked it. But I have been using a scooter lately and I just want to be honest with you guys. It's only been recently. My, like, just being bigger, everything is harder for me. It's been harder for me to walk. My asthma's been worse, and ever since I've been sick, every time I walk, I cough a lot. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it, but I'm just, you know, being honest, so. Honesty is the best policy. Okay.
I'm not going to completely single this person out. I'm just not going to watch them anymore. I know I said I don't watch them, and I don't. I decided to check in today. You know, I'm sure everyone does that. And I'm not trying to be self-righteous or say that I'm better than this person because I don't do what they're doing, because I understand in a certain way. But at the same time, I just got really pissed off by what I saw, because I'll tell you why. So, okay, so my grandmother is very frail. She's elderly. It happened recently, actually, where we went to Walmart, and normally they have one or two scooters or electric mobile cart things. They're usually not available. And the one time that we really needed it, she wasn't feeling well, you know, and lo and behold, when we're in the store, there were no carts available. Lo and behold, we see this morbidly obese woman. And I know that people who are very morbidly obese are immobile, but I feel whatever. I mean, this woman was in the junk food aisle. This woman was in the junk food aisle. This woman was in the junk food aisle. It's kind of just become the new normal where these carts are never available because, you know, usually it's when I see somebody using it, it's somebody very overweight. My grandmother really needed the cart. I mean, sometimes maybe these overweight people have other disabilities. I'm not trying to bash people. I realize I'm not going to be part of the body positivity movement because a lot of it is bullshit. You know, that's not what I'm trying to do, but I'm just voicing my frustration that. So all that to say, I was checking in on YouTuber Amberlynn Reed, and I'm sorry, Amberlynn, I don't want to start a war with you. I don't want to be one of those people who makes video. I saw your video today, and you're like weight loss update. Anyway, so then what really annoyed me was seeing you on the cart. Like you were doing it on purpose, you know, to like get people to ooh and ah over it, or to create some kind of controversy over it, or to shove it in people's, like to troll people, basically, I guess. You know, the way you were like in the cart and you're like, you know, you looked all comfortable, and it's like, that pissed me off. And I think you should really be walking. I mean, I don't see why you would ride a scooter to Walmart to get junk food. I think maybe because you are going to be on my 600-pound life and you just, at this point, you're like, whatever, I'm going to get help, I'm going to get surgery. So I may as well try to look, you know, for the show, whatever. Because you know how they like to make people look in the show. They first show them taking a shower and then they show them, let's see your eating habits. Well, they, you know, on the scooter in Walmart. And
I maybe should have messaged you privately, but I think we have each other blocked.
But I guess just me personally, as a morbidly obese person, there's no way in hell I would, number one, because I'd be too embarrassed. I'm very aware of people's reactions to my weight, just me walking around. And B, because I know that somebody else really needs it. There's this guy we used to work with named Emil. This guy, he died at 40. He was 40. He had a wife and 3 kids. He was probably close to 600 pounds. No exaggeration. He used to eat like, okay, when we would go for lunch, he would tag along on lunch break. One time, you know, we only have like an hour lunch. He ordered a 12-inch sub, double meat, a poutine, and an onion ring for lunch. A donair. This is a 12-incher, by the way. There's never anything 12-inch that people don't like, right? And poutine. And then I think he got a milkshake with it too. My boyfriend worked with me, and when he would be walking down the aisle to go to the calf, Emil would like grab him and be like, hey, get me a couple chocolate bars. Like every time he would go, he would fall asleep just sitting up in his chair at work. Probably not the most appropriate convo when you're eating or you're mukbanging. People are probably like, shut up and just eat. I don't do those kind of mukbangs, I'm sorry. Or I don't talk and just make eating noises. He ended up croaking, like, poor guy. And I moved away to live with my aunt to go to university. Very briefly. And in that brief period of time, she was away in Jamaica. So I was meeting people online because I was lonely. He was actually pretty good looking. Like, he had a cute face. He was wearing eyeliner. Now, the first thing when our eyes met, what he did, he smiled. It was like big smile. This big grin. And to my horror, he had these cheap ass plastic dollar store Halloween friggin' prop type of vampire teeth. Don't I look wonderful? This wig does not fit me. It was like $1. I don't know. Like, I'm lazy today, okay? This is what you're getting for a Halloween costume. A ratty wig. These were like Dracula on a budget type of fangs he had. They looked horrible. They looked horrible. He also had long, greasy hair. Jet black, greasy hair. Like, greasy where the light in the hall of the building, like, was reflecting big time on his hair. But when I see greasy hair, I think of fried eggs. I don't like eggs. Maybe it's because, you know, how people say it's so greasy you could fry an egg on it. But it makes me think of fried eggs. Makes me think of breakfast. Makes me think of coffee and bacon. And then I'm like hungry. So I went to Subway. And, man, there was the rudest customer ahead of me. So rude and bossy. to the sandwich artist. She looked stuck up too, like she had like her glasses and her nose was like high in the air, and she's like, tomatoes, spinach, pickles, more pickles, please. No onions. Then we get to his house. He opens the door in. He was wearing pants. He wasn't wearing a shirt though, but he was wearing pants. But he could have worn a shirt because he had like such a, I'm not body shaming, but he had his nipples were very intrusive. Like I'm honestly not trying to be mean when I say this. They were very intrusive because they were puffy. And he had like those he had like bologna nipples. Like, they kind of looked like fried eggs. And they were puffy. I'm trying to describe them without laughing. So, I'm not body shaming. I realize I'm not going to be part of the body positivity movement because a lot of it is bullshit. And then the sisters were having none of it, so they would be interviewing the sisters. And you'd see this one sister, she had a very prominent look. Like, every time she would come on camera, her nose was like this. So it was like lifting up, and she would literally talk like absolute rubbish. Like every time she would come on camera, that's the first thing she said. Absolute rubbish. We did not hear anything. We never saw anything. You know, I had to call, so I called. This woman answers. Sounded like an elderly woman. Made arrangements to go pick it up with my mom. They lived out in the boonies. So my mom was like, kind of complaining about that, but she came with me. We get there. I swear it's like Texas Chainsaw or Deliverance. Like, it was like your typical country house with the porch and really rundown house. This woman comes to the door. An elderly woman, kind of hunched over, you know, walking out. She had this like walker thing, and you know, she was like, you know, come on inside, we'll show you the coffee table. It's very heavy, so I'll have my son help you. The mother, I don't know if she was like a mama's boy or what. They had the son. When I seen the son for the first time, he was at the kitchen table. He gets up. He had this look, constant look on his face, like serial killer look. Like, you know, I hide cheerleaders in my basement kind of look. You know, he was rough looking. Very, very, very big guy. You know? Over 300 pounds. Probably about 450. Very heavy, tall man. Scruffy, dirty looking, gut hanging out, crack hanging out, the nines, you know. Don't judge a book by its cover. But book covers don't look like they're going to kill you and stuff you in the basement. I guess he looks like what your stereotypical messed up person would look like. Because I wasn't understanding what I was doing wrong. You know? I don't get it. I'm a good person. I have a lot of friends. And so I've concluded that people don't like me because I'm overweight. And I can't control that. I can't fight everybody. I can't control it. Having any reaction or any feeling towards that is just poisoning myself. The only thing I can control is how I react to things and how I feel about things. And I somehow receiving hate has made me realize how much I love myself, how much I am confident about myself no matter what fucking size I am. Like, I don't expect people to know what I'm going through in my life. That makes me how I am today. What I've been through. Mostly dealing with shitty people. You know, I do this for you guys. It's just weird for me because in real life, I have so many friends. You know, I get along with everybody. I don't judge people. So yeah, I just noticed that confidence really makes people angry. It attracts people or it makes them angry. The problem is, it just keeps going. The accusations, the harassment just keeps going. And I'm gonna say right now, if you're offended that I'm defending myself, you can unsubscribe. If you think I'm a bitch and you don't like my attitude, feel free to unsubscribe. Stupid. I'm not naive to the point that I know there's going to be negativity on YouTube, but it's so saturated. And maybe it's because I give attention to it, but there's ridiculous rumors that are made. And then this whole pack mentality starts and people are like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that, I'm unsubscribing, I'm so ashamed of you. But we'll follow people like Zach, we'll follow people like the YouTube Underground, we'll follow people like that are channels, will go in 6-hour live streams discussing one person. But I'm a horrible person. And yes, I'm turning off comments for this video because again, I don't need people harassing me and just like constantly bringing negativity in the comments. So I already know what they're going to be. You're not going to listen to a word I say and you're going to cause more drama. So I'm just turning off comments for this video. And any type of comment related to what I'm about to talk about, or any kind of bullshit in the comments, will be your last comment. Just to keep it going, just because people like drama, it's just sickening. It's just like, are we not adults here? I guess like I would expect it from somebody younger. And for me, I perceive it as harassment and bullying. For years now that I've been on YouTube, they've been regurgitating the same drama in a live stream over and over and over, like schoolyard children, like high school mean girls. Like, they're in their 50s, they're in their 40s, and you have nothing better to do with your time than to just talk about this senseless drama. And it's like, yeah, I used to pay attention to it, I used to watch it, but I never got involved. Like, this is ridiculous. We're adults, and you're harassing people online and making these stupid videos that like a teenager would make, making fun of somebody. It's like this whole community with these reaction channels and the drama, it's all wrapped into one. They all find it funny to pick on one or two friggin' people, or it's just like, it's sick. I've had enough of the harassment, honestly. I'm being very serious, because people get entertainment out of talking shit about other people. I feel like someone has to say it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm crazy. Like, I'm the only person. And you know what? That's okay. I don't care. Anyways, buried, done, bye. Continue to do whatever you want to do in the background, but keep it the fuck off my channel. See you later. Love you guys. Friday night here. I'm just going dumpster diving. Yeah, so let's go. Let's get to.
Look, a dumpster. My lack of enthusiasm is why they wanted me along. Butt shot. Whoop.
Oh my god, my ass is sweating.
It smells like mostly food. Definitely some crap. Gift card, I'm gonna keep that because there might be, I'm gonna check the balances. There probably isn't anything, but exclusive Christmas offer, $10 off. I'm gonna keep that. A wallflower. There's a bunch of Rolos and coffee and stuff in that bag. I need to get that stuff. I don't know if I can reach it. Damn it. Hold on, guys. Alright, guys, so there's a whole bunch of coffee, Rolos, there's stuff in that bag, and I just I'm standing on a thing, and it's just barely out of reach.
He's in the car. It's too cold for him. So, he's got McDonald's.
This is food. Eating right can be fun when you make balanced choices like milk and fruit in your McDonald's Happy Meal.
I'm gonna go see if Michael's has a compactor, or if they have a dumpster. because sometimes, like, I watch videos where there's stuff. I got a lot of gift cards, guys, but I didn't get a ton of stuff. I didn't go to a ton of stores. I'm kind of tired.
But that's the wallflower plugged in. It works and has the Into the Night scent inside of it. But so I ended up getting a coupon. These are the gift cards I picked up. Hello, Foodie Beauties. Okay, so my friend Angie and I went dumpster diving again. So what we picked up, we went to PetSmart. I got this column. The base was broken. It's a cat scratcher, but it's still perfectly fine. It's a soft carrier case. It was retailed for $50. There is a little slash on the side, but it's going to be easy enough to repair. There was some earphones at Winners. Another car mount. There was like tons of tins of coffee, 2 cans of nabob, and it is still sealed and everything. These dog toys at PetSmart, toy. So this from Giant Tiger. This is a candle we found at Winners, pumpkin spice soy candle, full mousse. Winners dumpster, Turkish glassware, and all this friggin' chocolate. And all this friggin' chocolate. And all this friggin' chocolate. There's like 35 bags of Rolos. 18 O. Henry peanut butter bars. Now they expired these in August, this in September. They're perfectly fine. We're going to bake with these. Rolo cookies, brownies, whatever. I'm going to give some away. Hey guys, hey, how are you? How are you? Sorry if I'm out of breath. Honestly, I'm still waiting to see a respiratory specialist. I know you're thinking, well, you're overweight, you can't breathe properly. That too. But I'm a bit wheezy, so I think I have, like, my mom developed asthma later in life, so I might have a bit of that. Might be allergies. So I want to tell you about my dumpster dive and my night last night. Beauty bite. So last night, my friend came, spent the night. It was so nice to see her. I saw Rena. We went to see Dr. Sleep. If you're a Shining fan, like I've seen The Shining so many times, they use parts of the soundtrack. Brr, 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 brr. I don't want to ruin it. But so after that, we dropped Rena off. So we went dumpster diving after. And my friend is like a ninja. Like, she's like in and out of the dumpsters and getting all kinds of stuff. Like, without her, I wouldn't have been able to get this stuff. So I wasn't completely useless, but I let her have first dibs on the stuff, of course. So there's like all these bags of Rolos and these O. Henrys. Oh, this is my favorite, this dish. Yeah, like people think that there was maggots on the side of the dumpster. That's not, I would be running so far away. They were longer than maggots usually. Like, I know there's some bigger ones, but they were stickers, like stuck to the wall. They weren't maggots. And I came home right to bed. I was so tired. So yeah, I honestly, I know you think you're an overweight binge eater, blah, blah, blah. I don't really have a sweet tooth. Like, I'm going to give some of these away. Some people said they would take it. They don't mind. Also, I'm going to make Rolo cookies. So I'm going to do some home cooked meals because, yeah, I did say that I'm not going to eat any more, you know, including this candy. Like, I'm really not going to eat much of it. I'm going to probably bake with it because Bibi loves cookies, my homemade cookies.
My husband and I would like to open a cookie store. We've done all the research, and I'm very confident we can turn a profit. I've brought some samples if you'd like to try one.
She said one. Take one.
Well, these are delicious.
And I'm going to give a lot of it away. So, but other than that, I'm going to cook a lot of home cooked stuff. Hello, Foodie Beauties. Hello, Foodie Beauties. Hello, my little love muffins. Hi. Brushed my hair a bit for you guys this time. I was super craving a big Harv. This is a big Harv. I didn't feel like cooking. I know I was supposed to do a whole week of home cooking. And then I'm like, then I have to cook for a whole week. So I'm going to try again tomorrow.
Oh, do not. There is no try.
So first and foremost, let's give you a beauty bite of this big Harv. Beauty bite. Who likes crunchy onion rings? Beauty bite.
Nuts for you!
I love doing that. I thought I would start doing that, my story of my life kind of thing. I was a teen pregnancy. My mom got pregnant with me when she was in high school. She fell in love with my dad. So thank you, Mom, for giving up your teenage life for me. She got pregnant with me and she kept it from her. Like, her family was a very nuclear family. Mother, father, you know, Mom stayed at home, Dad went to work.
So of course, because she was pregnant as a teen, she was scared to tell her parents, my grandpa and grandma. My grandparents were not happy. They flipped out. My mom was like, I'm keeping the baby. So I was born on March 28th, 1984 at 12:20 a.m. I weighed 8 pounds, 13 ounces. My mom's birth canal was too narrow for the size of my big head. So they had to do a C-section. I was baptized as a Christian, as a Catholic.
And as soon as I was born, all my family fell in love with me.
My mom and I stayed. Actually, when my mom was pregnant with me, I think she had to leave high school. They made her leave high school. Anyway, my mom eventually went to college, graduated as a single mom. I had like 8 soothers. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother. My grandmother became ill. She was diagnosed with severe depression, like severe mental illness. Yeah, I've never had a really strong relationship with my dad. I guess I'll end it there. That chapter. Yeah, if you want to hear more, just let me know.
Hello, foodie beauties. Hey guys, how are you? How are you? I was hyper, but it kind of passed, so I was gonna come on here and say, you're gonna get it. Meatloaf dinner. So we're gonna do Q&A part 2 today. So I wrote down a few questions. Let's get to. Beauty, bite. It's gonna be a big one.
Nuts for you!
I know you guys, some of you guys love that. Freaking weirdos. Before I address anything, I'm not engaged. I bought a ring for myself. It's a sterling silver with opal. And I was like, babe, as a joke, I'm like, is this my engagement ring? Like, who buys their own engagement ring? Me. And he's like, if you want it to be. So then that made me look, it could be a stand-in for a real ring. So, Q&A. If you're on death row, what would be your last meal kind of thing? My answer to that on death row is always, like, who's hungry? Even me, who loves food and is always hungry. Who's hungry right before they know they're going to be executed? If I had to eat and I was hungry, I mean, I don't know how I would feel in that situation, but I know when I'm nervous or afraid, I don't think about food. And, you know, so probably would be like fried chicken or pizza, mac and cheese. 2, do you and BB have a date night once a week? We don't. Maybe once a month we go out to dinner or something like that. 3, so it was like, the question was like, talk about BB and Peetz. Are they friends? Are they ever going to meet each other? They have not met yet. I don't know why I'm dreading my like ex meeting my current boyfriend, even though we're just friends. For some reason, it's like BB knows I was in a relationship with him. I think it's inevitable that one day they will meet. It's almost like, it's weird because like when I'm with Peetz, it feels like a different world. like my world with Peetz, even though we're friends. It's like we're closer than friends, but not on a romantic level, you know? But then when I come home, it's like my home life and completely different relationship with BB. And that is a romantic relationship. So it's really two different weird relationships. And if they mixed, I guess I would just feel weird. Do you and BB ever talk about marriage or adoption of children in the future? We've talked about it briefly because BB does want kids. If she can save anything, she will. So if God wants me to have kids and it's meant to be, everything happens for a reason is what I believe. Like my first surgery was canceled. I believe it was because the doctor that was standing in for my doctor that I really like would have been performing surgery. Maybe he would have been too tired since I was like the last surgery of the day. I think it happened for a reason that now I get my doctor.
Bozo?
No.
B-O-Z-O.
Sorry.
You've never heard of Bozo the Clown?
No.
How could you not know who Bozo the Clown is?
I don't know. I just don't.
Then, you know, I'll wake up from my surgery if it's meant to be that I have kids, that she'll be like, we were able to salvage, you know, or the cysts were gone by some miracle. I don't expect that, but that's how I look at it. Maybe in the future, adopt. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if, like, I'm still on, like, do I want kids? Because I like sleeping in. I like my freedom. And I'm honestly afraid to, like, psychologically mess up, like, another life. I don't know.
No shit.
I'm not mentally stable to, like, take care of myself, let alone another human being. Why delete your sexual assault video? It could help someone. I might re-enable, like, put back public. I privatized a lot of my personal videos. And it's because once I put them out there, some of them I felt kind of vulnerable. It made me feel vulnerable. And, like, talking about that is, like, kind of difficult because I honestly never talk to anybody about that.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
I don't know. I might put that video back on. Do you smoke weed? Not anymore. So this question was about early menopause. Like, are you afraid to go into early menopause? Are you going to be, you know, have your doctors discussed going on hormone treatment? So depending on my symptoms, they may recommend hormone replacement therapy. Do you take singing lessons and do you write songs other than ones for your cats? No, I've been putting my interest on hold to deal with other things. And I feel like I'm just like putting my life on hold until after the surgery. After my surgery, I want to open up a new chapter and start doing things that I enjoy.
You know I love food. Food is my best friend. I can't stop eating, and that's okay. I am alive. I am free. And I will never, ever, ever stop eating.
Are you religious? I don't know if I'm religious. Like, I used to not, like, believe in God. Or I wasn't, not that I didn't believe in God. I wasn't sure. I'm building a relationship. The more you talk to God, the more you let him in. Like they say, like it's true. Every day I wake up, I can't start my day now without being thankful and grateful and saying thank you. I guess in a sense, yes, I am religious. If you could know when and how you are going to die, would you want to? Absolutely not. You know, like how we die, when we die, doesn't matter. What matters is how you're living your life now.
Last year, I actually went on a Project Unhealthy. In 5 days, I gained 8 pounds. In 5 days, I actually became hypertensive, developed high blood pressure. I don't even want to know what was going on inside my body. America, listen up. This is what you're doing to yourself. I did it for 5 days. I felt miserable. I gained weight. I put my body in jeopardy, and it wasn't worth it. And you know what? I'm never going to do it again. Why did I do it? To prove a point. When you eat these foods, it causes an addictive pattern in your mind. But in the end, all you end up is overweight, lethargic, and not feeling good about yourself. This is me. So what happened when I ate a fast food meal? Well, something very simple. The contents enter your stomach, and I'm going to circle some of these contents that I call some of the killer contents of food. Sodium. These are fat molecules. These are refined sugar molecules. No big deal, right? Well, it is a big deal because when they hit your stomach, good things start happening, believe it or not. That's that dopamine release in your brain because dopamine and serotonin are going wild. You feel great. Oh my gosh, this tastes wonderful. It does, right? For the first few minutes. But things are also going on inside your body that aren't so great. Your pancreas is secreting more and more insulin to deal with that massive sugar overload from the fries, from the white bun, from the soda. Insulin does one thing. It drives sugar into cells. But it does something else. It tells your body to store fat. Why else would you have eaten a meal that big and that many calories unless you're about to go into hibernation? That's what you do when you hibernate. You grow a big belly. That fat that you see here, those fat cells actually grow in size. They start to secrete even more toxic substances, leading to heart disease, diabetes, and so many other things. All that sodium causes your blood pressure to go up, so your heart's beating twice as fast against twice as much resistance. And in your brain, you no longer are releasing dopamine, but instead, your brain is signaling you to release cortisol. Cortisol is a chronic stress hormone that ironically tells you to store even more fat. And last, but certainly not least, what isn't going on in my brain right now? I'm 30 minutes after my meal. There's no more dopamine. There's no more serotonin. I'm lethargic. I feel unhappy. I don't feel good about myself. And that is why when you first eat a fast food meal, you feel great. And 30 minutes later, you feel terrible.
You know? So I have dinner made for everybody when they come home. And yeah, house is clean. Hello, foodie beauties. Still good.
Why?
Hey guys, hey. Alright, now you're probably thinking, why did you do that with the bra? Okay, here's the thing. I realize people make fun of me for everything. They make fun of me for having had sipped gravy in my past. You know? And it doesn't matter what I do, so I might as well do what I want. You know, if I want to sniff my bra, sniff my bra.
Your fantasies can't ever be quenched, can they? You freaking freaks! When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
So, I'm happy to bring to you today a sandwich and chips. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, passed the sniffing test. I was going to troll you guys and put this in a gravy boat and drink it, but I don't know where my gravy boat is.
You have a gravy boat. I'm your gravy boat. Why won't you use me?
Alright, let's get you some booty boots. A chip. Beep, 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 beep. Bite of this sandwich. Take a bite. Beep, 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 beep.
Nuts for you!
Alright, so I don't really have a subject today. I went grocery shopping with my grandma.
And I love our time together. We went for breakfast. So I'm just going to talk about my day, vent about my day, bitch about my day. Because I hate grocery shopping. I'm just going to act how I normally act. Like, you know.
I'm not going to act like the Queen of England in hopes that people won't make fun of me. The Queen of England, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere. For real, it's illegal for her to fart in front of people. And illegal for her to cry at funerals. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not.
Friggin' deli. I hate the deli. The deli stresses me out. It seems to me there's something about the deli counter. There's like a deli demon that possesses you when you walk up to the counter and grab that number. First of all, we always get stuck behind a line of people who are really rude and demanding and are getting like 8 different varieties of cold cuts. And they're so rude. It's like, what is it about buying cold cuts that brings out the worst in people? I told you the one time about that lady who was like yelling at the girl because she told her she wanted the slices like this thick. And she's like, you don't have to show me. And the lady was like, I told you you don't have to show me. Anyway, she was really rude the one time we went.
You know, somebody yelling over you over bologna, you know? Or sorry, it was pimento loaf.
Yeah. What is pimento loaf?
Pimento loaf is the fruitcake of bologna. It's where they take deliciously stuffed green olives with pimentos, bake it into a loaf of bologna, whatever the hell that is, and then you cut it up real thin so you have little slithers of olives and pimentos shoved inside the bologna.
This lady was getting pimento loaf, and this woman was yelling over the thickness of her pimento loaf. So she's like, there's the other girl here, the other girl, I come here every week, and the girl that, you know, she knows what it's like. She knows what I like there. The girl with the curly red hair, she knows what I like. She knows how to do it. Deli counter drama, always.
Nuts for you!
I know you guys, some of you love that. It's just like, there's nothing to it. I mean, I've seen like conspiracies about like, some people think it's like a feeder thing. Like someone's paying me to say shh. Why would that be a feeder thing? And I just laugh because really, I just do it because I'm weird. Like I don't know. Hello, foodie beauties. What's up, foodie beauties? What is up? I have some pizza and poppers for you. Can try to be classy. The delivery man was Aziz. Do you remember I used to do pizza, mukbang, whatever you call it? And Aziz used to be the delivery guy. It's been a while. I'm not too old to wear a bow in my hair, okay? Like, stop age shaming me, among other things. Bra sniff shaming. The list goes on. How else are you going to tell if your bra's fresh to use the next day? You know? Smells like Peetz. Throw it in the bin. All alone. So I can do naked somersaults if I wanted to.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Oh, took my breath away. And give you a beauty bite. Oh, I've missed you guys.
Nuts for you!
Oops. Oh. Being home alone and doing what you want. The things you do when you think you're alone, you know? And then if you get caught, well, it was my French lover. And after this incident, actually, we didn't talk for a while. So I used to like to just show up at my French lover. Classy. I would just show up at his house sometimes because I didn't live that far. A. B. He never answered my phone calls. I showed up at his house, went upstairs. So I tried the door handle. It was open. Yes, I remember this is the time. I was excited. I knew I was more excited for some reason. I didn't want to leave because I had just gone to a sex shop and purchased like a brand new like type of lube, you know? So I went there like with the lube and everything, which by the way, I ended up being allergic to it or something, and it ended up giving me a UTI. Shut up! So I thought, I'm gonna surprise him. I'm gonna hide in his apartment, wait for him to get home. So he had a dresser, and there was like a pile of crap. It was just like a whole pile of crap beside the dresser. So I thought, I'm gonna hide behind there because I could still peek over kind of. And the dresser, the way it is, it's kind of hiding me from view. At least I thought. So eventually he comes home. Then he turns the shower on. He starts having a shower. And he's singing to himself in the shower. With the French accent, welcome to the jungle. Finally his shower ends. Comes in the room. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh my god, should I I'm thinking this is so awkward. If he knows I'm here now, he's going to be embarrassed, you know? He's really going to be mad at me.
No shit.
So he has a full-length mirror right below the Randy Rhoads poster in his room. He goes in front of it. There's like a little beat up old radio. So, and I saw beside the radio, there was a letter. It was a piece of paper he kept. So, because I was like so in love with this guy, I wrote him a love letter. I drew a picture of us doing doggy style. And like the picture was like, he was like pulling my ponytail. It was so stupid. Oh God. He kept the paper, the letter, and he would humiliate me with it. Like when I would try to get fed up with him and we would fight and I'd be like, that's it. He like didn't want to. He just wanted like it to keep going for a bit longer. He would like, remember this letter, you know? He used it to like sucker me back in. So he's in front of the mirror. I finally like got a full glimpse of his junk. His testicles were purple, like really purple.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong.
I don't know if it was just, yeah, like just the color or, I don't know, do any male viewers have purple testicles?
There's a difference between like just rude criticism and like nice, like non-judgmental criticism.
And so he's like flexing and singing Eye of the Tiger. It's the Eye of the Tiger. And so he's, this is such a stupid story. I'm really not, I'm trying my best to tell it, but anyway. So he's singing Eye of the Tiger. And he's like flexing, and then he starts like moving around his junk, looking at it, lifting up his testicles, looking at them. Eventually, because he's in and out all day, luckily for me, he got dressed, put on 5 bottles of cologne, turned off Eye of the Tiger, headed out the door again. I heard him go downstairs. I could hear Gaston totally bad-mouthing me. Like, oh, I checked my phone there. There's a whole bunch of missed calls from that fat girl again. Like, are you serious?
Hello? Hey, man, listen very carefully, man. Don't answer the phone, man. You got that? Don't answer the phone. Even if it's me calling, man, don't answer because I think the phone is bugged, man. Okay?
I wasn't too fat when I had my legs in the air on your bed, you stupid jerk. That pissed me off. I wasn't going to embarrass him and say that I'd been hiding. I went to the dresser, grabbed my letter.
So burglary is when you enter a structure with the intent to commit theft or a felony inside. But you don't have to use forced entry. So for example, if somebody has their front door wide open, and I walk through their front door into their house and steal something, that's burglary, even though I didn't use any sort of force to get in there.
He came back upstairs, was shocked to shit to see me in the room. Then he became kind of like, what are you doing here? I was so mad I didn't say anything else. I just said, you have purple testicles. And I ran out the door.
Gotta love me.
You know, I never intended to really do it. I wanted attention. Ah, my finger's chubby. Hello, foodie beauties. Okay, story time. So remember how I told you that I was living in a group home when I was like 16, 17? I was sent there by my mom. I was horrible. She had me young. She had me at 17. I was the only child. Well, I have a sister, but she was so young, you know? And I was the only child for so long. I was 11 when she was born. I was a spoiled brat, plain and simple. When I didn't get my way, I freaked out. You know, that and your teen angst issues, daddy abandonment issues. I was always seeing a child psychologist. I was put on several medications, whatever. And I think I just had, like, spoiled brat syndrome. I was sent to the group home following, you know, a major incident. You know, I never intended to really do it. I wanted attention. I knew that gave me power, threatening that. I wanted to hurt people. One day I was fighting with my mom about something. I don't even remember. Probably at that time because I wanted to go sleep at my boyfriend's and be allowed to screw him all hours of the night at my age. What parent is going to allow that, right? None. I'm just pigging right out. We were fighting. I emptied out half my bottle of, I think it was Zoloft I was on, antidepressants or something. I showed her the bottle and I said, I'm gonna kill myself. I took half the bottle. And I hadn't. I really didn't. So she's like, what? You better, are you kidding? Are you kidding? She was freaking out, you know. And then she was like, I'm gonna take you to the hospital. So she took me to the hospital. I had the bitchiest nurse ever, like ever. She was a bitch. She was an older nurse. She was probably working on the field for like 35 years, and she's just seen one too many punk kids like me threatening suicide. And then she was like, you're gonna drink this. It was like a drink, I think it was charcoal. It neutralizes the drug. And I was like, oh no, what if this, you know, I really didn't take the pills. So what if the charcoal has a negative effect if you haven't taken any pills, you know? So like, should I actually better take the pills? I bolted for the bathroom and the nurse was like, hey, where are you going? You know, they didn't want to leave me alone. I was on watch. And I was like, in the bathroom, I'm like, I'm taking the rest of the pills. So in the bathroom, I actually took some pills. Then I thought I'll just drink the charcoal. You guys probably think I'm nuts. I was. Slenderman's here with my pizza. Slenderman's here with my pizza. Slenderman's here with my pizza. I come out and the nurse is just friggin' livid. Why did you do that? But like, she was just yelling at me. I didn't really take them before. I just said that. But now I actually did. The nurse was like, I think she was ready to retire because of me. They put me in a room, make me drink that. And they decided I was going to stay the night. And they put me in a room with someone else. Another youthful girl around my age. They put me beside an anorexic girl. She had anorexia. I made friends with her. She was being tube fed Ensure all day. Well, for her meals, not all day, but for her meals. And it was sad because her family would come often. You could tell her family really loved her. And they would bring her all kinds of candy, big tubs of gummy bears, and just junk food surrounded her bed. We're talking. We become friends. And I was just like, man, those candies. I had said to her at some point, are you going to eat those candy? And I think she kind of caught on because she gave them to me. She gave me her candies. So basically, what ended up happening was I was in that hospital until they could find room for me at this youth type of cottage retreat thing at the mental facility where I actually ended up working. That was my last job. So I went to this psychiatric cottage thing for youth and with other psychiatric problems. I did not belong there, guys. I did not belong there, guys. I did not belong there, guys. Every single other person there was absolutely fucking Looney Tunes. Like, really out to lunch. Like, I stole liquor and pretended to kill myself. These people, like, oh my god. One guy I remember, James guy, he was really out. Like, he was like, he had this, like, always this look on his face, like, you know, the lights are on but there's no one home kind of look. Like, you know, like he's gonna be a serial killer someday if they don't catch it, you know, that kind of guy. And he would always make he would throw tantrums and I thought he was gonna murder us all, you know. Because, you know, at breakfast one day, I don't know why, but they gave him exceptions. Like, we had a specific diet, healthy. You know, they would give you one packet of salad dressing instead of just putting as much as you want, for example. Him, he had, you know, maybe because he was so large and they wanted to wean him off gradually because they didn't want him to be triggered. But they allowed him a bigger breakfast. Like, he would have 2 eggs, cereal, and then what we had. And they wouldn't cook his eggs right, like, ever. I don't know if the guy was fucking with him on purpose. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know if the guy was messing with him on purpose or what, but he would always make his eggs over easy. And he wanted them, you know, sunny side up more. He wanted the yolk runny. I remember just, like, thinking, you know, about the chef, like, or the cook. Like, bitch, if I get murdered over a runny yolk, I'm gonna kick your ass. I was like, I don't need to be here. I'm not crazy like these people, you know? I was planning an escape, okay? Yeah, I went AWOL. I ran away. Just listen. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a smoke and I'm gonna keep running. And this is bad, but I knew I could manipulate my grandmother into feeling bad and not making me go back there. So another girl that was there, I had asked her, I said, do you have a quarter? She's like, she knew. She was like, you're gonna run away, aren't you? I went for a smoke, and the minute I lit up, maybe waited a few seconds, started bolting. I found a laundromat. I've tried to find somewhere where I had a payphone. Back then it was still payphones. So I finally found a dingy, like we're in like the ghetto area of town. It was like a dingy laundromat. And there was some sketchy people out there. I was worried. You know, I'm young. It was middle of the night. It was probably like 11 o'clock. I'm like, please answer the phone because this is my only quarter. She was like, she answered, hello. Told her my sob. I started crying. I said, I'm not like them, Grandma. I'm not crazy. She was really upset. She called my aunt. Demanded she pick me up. She was hysterical. My aunt was not happy, you know, like manipulating my grandmother too, you know, because they wanted me to stay there. They thought it would be good for me. No way. I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, so I went AWOL. And, you know, well, my mom was like, well, you're not coming back here. I ended up getting placed at that home for teens who had nowhere to go. Foodie beauties. What's up? So I wanted to talk about, like, irrational fear. So, do you guys watch Maury? Have you ever seen when he used to have those episodes of... He'd have people on his show totally exploiting them. People who had irrational fears of things like peaches, pickles, tinfoil, chickens. I remember one episode, this lady, the opening credits begin and all you see is the stage, you know, the camera pans out to the stage and all you see is this woman and she's like, she's rocking and she's looking down and she's like, and she's like blubbering. And Maury probably gets some sick pleasure out of it. He's like, everybody meet Denise. You know, Denise is visibly upset. Why don't you tell them, Denise? You have a big fear, don't you? He's like rubbing it in. And she's like, yes. He's like, you have a fear of... Like, Denise has a fear of chickens, don't you, Denise? And she's like, oh, God, yes. You know... And he's like, Denise, why don't you take a look, turn around and take a look at the big screen behind you. And she's like, oh, no. And he's like, Denise, turn around and look at the screen. Go on. She turns around. It's a whole bunch of chickens playing in the yard, clucking away. She freaks out. Like, you know, you gotta wonder if the producers are like, act tortured. And then all of a sudden... somebody, you know, an employee of the Maury show, some man in a giant chicken suit comes out from backstage, starts chasing poor Denise all around the set. She's running up through the aisles. You know, people in the audience are like dumbfounded. Anyway, it ends up with her shakily petting a chicken at the end, making progress, you know. Then there was another woman who was afraid of tinfoil. So they brought out all kinds of friggin' origami made out of tinfoil, like the Eiffel Tower or whatever. I'm like, what a friggin' retarded show.
Excuse me. Why are you drinking my ice water when I just gave you some of your own water? Thanks. After licking your ass, you drink my drink. Okay. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
The other day, I went grocery shopping. I took my grandma grocery shopping. I help her out. There was a woman there who kind of freaked me out because I didn't know what she was... I mean... Okay. She seemed really angry. And I get it.
I don't know what was going on in her life. She, we're in the produce aisle. And, I didn't even notice, like, I was standing there waiting for my grandma to pick out tomatoes. Like, she's the kind of person that has to, like, look at every single fruit or vegetable in the bag. I'm like, Grandma, there's not going to be 8 perfect oranges in the bag. And, I mean, like, even if there's, like, a little line of, like, brown, she won't get it on, like, one of the fruit. I'm like, it's not what's on the outside that counts. It's what's on the inside. Don't judge a fruit by its rind. Like, whatever. We're looking through the tomatoes or oranges or whatever. I just looked over for like a second. I wasn't staring. I looked over at this woman behind us who was looking through the head lettuce, like iceberg lettuce. And our eyes caught. And I just made a smile at her. And she looked at me and she went, I was like, whoa. Okay. Okay. That's how it's gonna be. I thought she's probably just like, I was shocked, but I thought she might be disturbed. Just gonna ignore her. For the rest of the time she was in the produce aisle after that, I don't know what I did. She probably thought I was laughing at her. She took the head lettuce and threw it in her cart all hard. And then she took like a lemon and shot it in her cart. And my grandma, I'm trying to be quiet, but she kind of said it loud. She's like, I think there's something wrong with that lady. I'm like, she's gonna hear you, she's gonna kill us. So the whole rest of the time we're in the store, I'm like trying to avoid. My grandma needed Q-tips. She was in the kind of beauty Q-tip aisle. The woman went down there too. She was buying baby food. And she was still like grunting to herself, like, you know, she was making like weird noises anyway. I just thought of a story. Oh, I better not. It's just about this woman we used to work with. I just won't mention her name, of course, and then she can't sue me for slander because she's the type of woman who would. She's crazy. Crazy. Oh man, I have to tell you about her sometime. I befriended her at one point and then for some reason she turned against me. Like, I don't know what happened. I can't even remember why she hated me all of a sudden. I don't even think I did anything to her. She lived in my hometown. Her dad died. And then I read that in the paper. And I was like, no. I feel bad because she was so close to her father. She probably couldn't say goodbye, you know. It's really sad. And she kept his body in the bathtub. Until one day the neighbors noticed a smell. You know how that goes. When I saw that in the paper, I was like, really? Oh my god. And this girl had it out for me. I don't know why. I really don't. She was just like, hated everybody. She was miserable, miserable. And it was just her and her dad. And I feel bad. And their dog, like, I don't want to say anything bad about an animal, but I don't know what was wrong with their dog. Its nipples hung so low. Like, her dog had some saggy ass tits, man. They would, when the dog would walk, they would wobble around. I'm like, Jesus. But, yeah. I can't even eat that now, actually. I ruined my own appetite. Hey guys, what is up? How are you? How are you? On my way to buy the ingredients for this collab, some interesting things happened to me. So I decided I love going for drives at night. I put on YouTube and I listen to drama videos or I listen to other people's videos. I was driving and I came to a main intersection and there was like not another living soul, not a car, nothing, except on the other side of the intersection there was a man. I think he was probably homeless or something, you know? I don't know. He had a big cardboard sign and he was just standing on the other side. And he sees my car and that's a long, like the light is long at nighttime. So I'm sitting there waiting. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh fuck, don't come over to me. If I gave money to every single person, and at major intersections in Ottawa there's always people like, you know, crack addicts, homeless people walking in between the cars. begging for money. And if I gave money to every single person that did that, I'd be poor. I'm begging myself. I just didn't want to be bothered, and he was kind of creepy. He looked like Stephen King, actually. But he had this big, goofy, like, look on his face the whole time, just like walking over to me like this with his cardboard. And then he starts waving non-stop the whole time that I'm at the stop sign. He's at the stop lights. He's like staring at me to get me to try and look at him. But I'm only looking at him with my peripheral vision, because if I make eye contact, that's it. So as he's getting closer, I can see the sign says, "Hi." I don't know word for word what it said, but my name is Clifford. And I'm deaf. And I'm like, no, you're not. Just say you're broke and you need money for your next hit. Like, I would be more likely to give somebody money for drugs if they were just honest about it than if they said they were deaf. As soon as I see I'm deaf, I'm like, and you think I should have the opposite effect of that, be more compassionate, but no. Because all of the scammers ruined it for everybody. You know, I'm blind, or, you know, it's not true most of the time. He was like right at my window waving nonstop and like trying to get my attention. And I'm like not looking, I'm just like looking all bitchy straight ahead. Like I'm ready to run this red light. There's no cars around. Clifford is like a step away from opening my door and turning my face towards him. Finally the light turns and I speed away. I go to drive home and I forgot about Clifford. Took the same way home. I should have taken a different route. Same deal. I get to the intersection. Clifford's there, waving in my face like a maniac. It was the way he was looking at me. Like, it was so like maniacal. I don't know. He probably had a mental illness or something. I had to go to the psych ward to have like after hours. We don't like to change medications at the psych emerge because we don't want to step on the toes of your psychiatrist who's treating you. This time it was like you get sent to a ward. There's like 4 rooms. I was put in a room and like the walls were like very, very white. It looked like a typical asylum room. Just a chair, white walls, and a camera so that you don't harm yourself, which somebody behind some glass is always watching. Now one of the patients only spoke Arabic. This girl, only speaking Arabic, she had plastic gloves on, or rubber gloves, and she was smoking a pencil. She opens the door and comes and sits in the doorway to my room. She's like, "Hi," then starts speaking in Arabic, and I was like, oh my god. She's like, I was like, wow. Oh god, I'm special.
Hey guys, hey, how are you? How are you? Well, and here, what can we name this guy? Let's name him Marshall. And that's inspired by what I'm about to talk about. But I'm really interested in like cults. So I was reading a while ago on this cult called Heaven's Gate. And I think what really stood out, besides the mass suicide, was the pictures of the bodies that are online. They're all wearing the same Nikes. And you can buy these Nikes. They're expensive on like eBay for that reason, because they don't make them anymore. From what I hear, Nike pulled them after that happened. The cult leader is named Marshall Applewhite. So his name is Marshall. Now you might hear mass suicide and think, oh, that's horrible. But for these people who were manipulated, they believe that that was the only way for them to reach this level of transcendence. They still have a website up, from what I understand. So if you want to check it out, heavensgate.com. On March 26, 1997, that's when they decided to do it. They drank the Kool-Aid or whatever they did. They drank the Kool-Aid or whatever they did. They drank the Kool-Aid or whatever they did. All wore the same uniform. Those creepy Nike shoes sticking out. And they all did the mass suicide thing.
They killed themselves inside their rented Rancho Santa Fe mansion over a period of several days, in small groups. They put on matching black pants and shirts and black and white Nikes, took phenobarbital mixed with applesauce washed down with vodka. Then they put plastic bags and purple shrouds over their heads and died in their bunk beds.
All right. Say bye, Marshall. Bye. All right, guys. So that's it.
Look at the mad stretch. Mm. 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 I'm probably triggering someone. Oh my god.